when did I get so good at being mean to myself, right? And we all do. And if you catch yourself on the couple of things which actually helped me. One, is this a constructive thought? So when I'm going down the rabbit hole of anything, stress, fear, anxiety, anything, is it a constructive thought? Will it get me somewhere? And if it's not meant to be in your head. A second thing which has really helped me is thoughts are not facts. So when you're spiraling about something or anxious about something or berating yourself for having done something wrong, you have to kind of come back to the facts. Like, what are the facts that I know? And then it just takes away the power. Those are tools that have really, I think, helped me in this new phase. Like, we've got to be tough. We've got to, like, at least when I was growing up, there was no importance to therapy or constructive conversation, even within family. It was like, you're stronger than that. You don't have to feel that way. Like, almost dismissive of actual feelings. And not just by parents, that was just the culture
in society,
of how it was. And I feel like that's a wonderful thing that we've come to a place where we can actually talk about our feelings. But, the more you keep it in, the more you're not allowed to talk about how you're feeling, which is totally different than how you should be behaving or what you should be doing in a situation. Completely different thing. How you're feeling is so crucial to acknowledge. And then it's easier to kind of move on. But the initial validation you need is, I am upset about something and it's okay. Whatever that might stem from. I might be feeling jealous. I might feel like angry that this didn't happen for me, or whatever it was. But it's okay to acknowledge that feeling. And I find it really beneficial to talk to, like, my best friend or my husband or someone.
Let us start with a question that most people never ask out loud. Why does being mean to yourself feel like it is helping? Because it does. In the moment, self-criticism feels like control. It feels like you are keeping yourself sharp. It feels like you are preventing mistakes. It feels like you are pushing yourself forward. That is why so many of us become experts at it without even trying. But here is the truth. Being hard on yourself rarely makes you better. Most of the time, it makes you smaller. It makes you tense. It makes you scared to try. It makes you avoid risks. It makes you hide. And that is why Priyanka asking, when did I get so good at being mean to myself, hits so deep. Because the skill you built might not be the skill you actually needed. Think about how it shows up in real life. You make a small mistake at work and your brain says you are so stupid. You miss one workout and your brain says you always quit. You see someone else doing well and your brain says you are behind and you will never catch up. You say something awkward in a conversation and your brain replays it for hours like you committed a crime. None of that is constructive. It does not improve you. It just drains you. A lot of us learned this from culture and family. The message was, be tough. Do not complain. Do not feel so much. Keep it in. Other people have it worse. That is why talking about feelings used to feel weak. You were taught to dismiss your own emotions the same way people dismiss them around you, so you turned the pressure inward. You thought that was strength. But pressure is not strength. Pressure is weight. If you carry it long enough, you do not become stronger, you become tired, you become reactive, you become numb, or you become anxious all the time. And then you wonder why you cannot stay consistent, why you cannot enjoy wins, why you cannot rest without guilt. Here is the difference that changes everything. Discipline is about behavior. Self-criticism is about identity. Discipline says that did not work. What is the next step? Self-criticism says you are the problem. One helps you move, the other makes you freeze. So the goal of this video is not to turn you soft. The goal is to give you a better fuel source. Kindness is not letting yourself off the hook. Kindness is how you stay in the game long enough to grow. It is how you recover faster. It is how you bounce back after mistakes. It is how you take feedback without collapsing. And Priyanka gave you 2 tools that do exactly that. A filter for your thoughts and a fact check for your mind. Then she added the missing piece that most people ignore. Your feelings need to be acknowledged, not dismissed. When you do that, you can move on instead of spiraling. In the next part, we are going to take the first tool and turn it into something you can use today. Not as a quote, but as a method for stopping the spiral in real time, especially when you are stressed, anxious, or disappointed in yourself. Here is the first tool Priyanka mentioned, and it is simple enough to remember when you are stressed. Ask yourself, is this a constructive thought? Will this get me somewhere? If the answer is no, it is not meant to be in your head right now. Notice what that question does. It does not ask, is this thought true? Because thoughts can feel true and still be useless. It asks, is this thought helpful? Because in a hard moment, you do not need more pain. You need direction. Let us use a real example. You send a message to someone and they do not reply. Your mind starts building a movie. They hate me. I said something wrong. I am annoying. I always ruin things. That is a spiral. Now ask the question, is this constructive? Will it get me somewhere? No. It will only make you anxious. A constructive thought would sound like this. I do not know why they have not replied. The next helpful thing I can do is wait, or follow up tomorrow, or distract myself with something real. That is how you regain control. Another example, you are working on a project and you make a mistake. Your brain says you are terrible at this. You are going to get fired. Everyone will see you are not good enough. Ask the question, is this constructive? No. It will not improve your work. It will just make you panic. A constructive thought would sound like this. I made an error. The next step is to fix it, learn what caused it, and double-check the rest. That is discipline. That is progress. Another example, you look at social media and see someone your age doing better. Your brain says you are behind. You wasted time. You will never catch up. Ask the question, is this constructive? No, it will not help you take action. It will make you feel ashamed and stuck. A constructive thought would sound like this. I feel triggered because I care about my growth. The next helpful thing I can do is choose one skill to improve this week and do one rep today. That is how comparison becomes fuel instead of poison. This tool works because it turns your mind from judge to coach. A judge attacks you. A coach directs you. A coach does not say you are awful. A coach says, here is what we do next. So here is a simple script you can use when you catch the spiral. Pause. Breathe once. Ask, is this constructive? If not, replace it with a better question. What is one thing I can do in the next 10 minutes that helps? Then do it. The key is to keep it small. 10 minutes. One email. One paragraph. One walk. One glass of water. One apology. One message. Small actions calm the mind because they create proof. Proof tells your brain we are okay, we are moving. But there is a second problem. Even when you choose a constructive thought, your mind can still bully you with fear. That is why the second tool matters. Thoughts are not facts. In the next part, we are going to learn how to separate what you feel from what you actually know. This tool can save you from so much unnecessary suffering. Thoughts are not facts. Your mind can generate 1,000 scary stories and present them like evidence, but anxiety is not intelligence. Anxiety is imagination with fear attached. When you are anxious, your brain turns possibilities into certainty. It takes one small event and builds a worst-case story. You do not get a reply and you assume you are disliked. You make a mistake and you assume you are done. You feel tired and you assume you are failing. You feel awkward and you assume everyone noticed. None of those are facts. Those are interpretations. So the method is to come back to the facts. Ask, what do I know for sure? What do I not know? And what is the next small step I can take based on facts? Here is a relatable example. You have a meeting tomorrow and you feel nervous. Your mind says you are going to mess up. You will forget your words. They will judge you. You will look stupid. That feels real, but it is not a fact. The facts might be, I have a meeting tomorrow. I have prepared before. I can write notes. I can practice for 10 minutes. I can breathe. I can show up. Now the fear loses power because it has less room to run. Another example. You get feedback at work. Your mind says, I am not good enough. I am failing. I cannot do anything right. Facts. I received feedback. Feedback is normal. They want improvement, not my destruction. The next step is to clarify what they want, make a plan, and apply it. Another example. You feel jealous when someone else wins. Your mind says, I am a bad person. I should not feel this. Facts. Jealousy is a feeling. It shows you what you want. It does not make you evil. The next step is to use that information to set a goal and take action. This tool is not about denying emotions. It is about taking power away from false stories. When you return to facts, you reduce drama. You reduce the spiral. You get back to reality. A practical way to do it is a quick list. In your Notes app, write 3 lines. Line 1, the thought. I am going to fail. They hate me. I am behind. Line 2, the facts. What you know for sure. Line 3, the next action. One small step that reduces uncertainty or improves the situation. This takes 2 minutes, but it can save you hours of stress. And now we come to the missing piece from the clip. Validation. Because some people try to fact-check their emotions without acknowledging them first. They say, I should not feel this, and they push it down. But pushed down feelings do not disappear. They leak into your behavior. They make you irritable. They make you numb. They make you overeat, overscroll, overwork. So in the next part, we talk about emotional validation in a healthy way. Not as an excuse, but as a way to stop the internal war and move forward with clarity. One of the most damaging habits we learn is dismissing our feelings. Not just other people's feelings, but our own. We say I should not feel this. I am being dramatic. I need to be strong. I need to stop. But feelings do not respond to shame. Feelings respond to attention. The more you ignore them, the louder they get. Priyanka made a powerful point. How you are feeling is crucial to acknowledge. It is different from how you should behave. That is the key. Feelings are real, but they are not commands. You can feel jealous and still be kind. You can feel angry and still be respectful. You can feel sad and still show up. Validation is not saying the feeling is correct. Validation is saying it exists. It is saying I am upset and that is okay. I feel disappointed and that is okay. I feel scared and that is okay. When you validate the feeling, the nervous system relaxes. Then you can choose a better response. Here is a real-life example. You did not get picked for something. A promotion, an opportunity, a role, a project. You feel jealous. You feel angry. You feel embarrassed. If you ignore it, you might start acting cold. You might start comparing yourself. You might start talking badly about others. Or you might quit. But if you validate it, you can say, I am jealous because I wanted that. I am disappointed because I worked hard. That is human. Then you can ask, what do I do next? Another example. You make a mistake and you feel shame. If you dismiss it, you will either hide or attack yourself. But if you validate it, you can say, I feel embarrassed. I do not like this feeling, but I can handle it. Then you can fix the mistake and learn. Another example. You are overwhelmed. You feel like you cannot keep up. If you dismiss it, you will push harder until you crash. But if you validate it, you can say, I am stressed. I need support or rest or boundaries. Then you can make a smarter plan. This is why talking helps. Priyanka said it is beneficial to talk to a best friend or a partner. Because when you say the feeling out loud, it becomes smaller. It becomes manageable. You stop treating it like a secret weakness and you treat it like normal human data. If you do not have someone safe, you can journal. You can say the feeling out loud when you are alone. You can write one sentence. I feel blank. It is okay that I feel this. That alone can reduce the charge. Now we close with the promise you do not just watch a video and feel better. You do something. In the last part, I will give you 3 steps you can take today to stop being so hard on yourself, without lowering your standards, and without becoming passive. This is about being effective, not being soft. Now, we close with action, because insight without follow-through turns into another reason to be hard on yourself. These 3 steps are simple on purpose. You are not trying to become a new person overnight. You are training a new pattern so your inner voice stops destroying your progress. Step 1. Catch one mean thought and run the constructive filter. Today, do not try to fix every negative thought. Catch just one. The moment you hear yourself say something like, "I am so stupid," "I always mess this up," or "I am not good enough," pause and ask Priyanka's question. Is this constructive? Will it get me somewhere? If the answer is no, replace it with a coach statement that points to action. Example: you make a mistake at work. The mean thought is, "I am terrible at my job," not constructive. Replace it with, "I made an error." What is the next step? Then do one small fix. Correct the file, send the follow-up, ask the question. The goal is not to pretend you are perfect. The goal is to stop attacking your identity and return to problem solving. Example: you miss a workout. The mean thought is, "I always quit." Replace it with, "I missed today." What is the next step? That next step might be a 10-minute walk, scheduling tomorrow, or laying out clothes tonight. Small actions rebuild self-trust. Step 2. Do a 2-minute fact check when anxiety shows up. Thoughts are not facts. Anxiety turns maybe into definitely. So write 3 quick lines in your notes app. Line 1, the thought: "They hate me. I am behind. I am going to fail." Line 2, the facts: what do you actually know? For example, "They have not replied yet, but people get busy." Or, "I got feedback on one task, but that does not mean I am failing." Or, "I am comparing myself to someone online, and I do not know their full story." Line 3, the next action: one small step based on facts. Send a clarifying message, do 10 minutes of prep, finish one task, or wait until tomorrow before assuming the worst. This pulls you out of a spiral and back into reality. Step 3, validate the feeling and share it with someone safe. You can be tough and still acknowledge feelings. Validation is not weakness, it is honesty. Name the feeling without judging it. "I feel upset. I feel jealous. I feel anxious." Then say one sentence of compassion. "It makes sense that I feel this." Now get it out of your head. Talk to a friend, your partner, or someone you trust. Keep it simple. "I just need to say this out loud," or write it down in a journal. The point is to stop letting the feeling bounce around in your mind until it turns into self-attack. Remember the core message. Being hard on yourself feels like discipline, but it usually creates fear and paralysis. Real discipline is not self-hate. Real discipline is a calm next step. Discipline focuses on behavior. Self-criticism attacks identity. Choose the voice that helps you move forward. Start with one thought today, one fact check, one honest conversation. That is how you stop being so hard on yourself.